Hey tribe, guess what? I got a special gift for y'all. If you ever wondered how do we create those stunning ball garlands that we put on our backdrops for events, or maybe you even seen them in our master classes, guess what? You are in luck because today I'm releasing my very first ball garland DIY tutorial for free. It's not in the membership. Those guys already had it a long time ago. But I'm giving it to you guys just for rocking with me and really helping me grow this channel. So I just want you to sit back, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comment section and I'll be sure to answer you. But when you're done watching, I need you guys to stick around because I'm going to tell you exactly where you can get more tutorials just like that from. So let's dive in. Hey guys, I know a lot of you have been waiting for this upgrade on a tutorial that you purchased already, and I want to tell you that guess what? It's finally going to be available in your portal. All you have to do is sign in like you normally would before, and you'll have access to this upgraded feature. And one of the most amazing things about it is this technique that I discovered is much quicker, much easier, much accurate, and guess what? The actual garland is much more durable because I'm using all many different things than what I used before. So check out the upgrade and let me know how you like it. Now in this segment, we're going to cover the supplies that you're using. So this time we're actually going to have fun and create different colors and different textures of the actual ornaments from what we used before. So as you can see, we're using some blue, we're using some black, we have some white, we have some silver, some blush. We kind of just went with every color they had, right? Not to mention, we are going to be using a drill stand. Another term that you may often hear is called a jig. And I was so thrilled when this idea kind of came to me. I fell in love and said, oh, we got to upgrade the tutorial. Not to mention next, we are going to use a cordless drill. Now you want to be mindful of the bit you're using. So you want to definitely make sure you're using a wood bit and not a masonry bit. And you'll see the links for the products in the description. Then we're going to also use a nylon thread. Now this is a lot more durable than what we used before. This is going to make you have a more durable garland, right? Then we also have our regular measuring tape, our scissors, our beaded threads, and this you would see in the cosmetic store. Then we, for safety purposes, are using our safety goggles and our gloves. So let's dig into the tutorial so we can see actually how to get this done. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is make sure you have the accurate amount of ornaments. Now, just a good rule of thumb so I don't have to do a bunch of adding, I always use 3 packs of the 16 piece of the shatterproof balls. Now, you'll see links to these in the description. You can get these from Walmart, Amazon. I normally get mine from At Home because they are one of the places that will have one pack that have all of the same color. If you notice, when you go to places like Walmart and Amazon, their one container has various different colors and styles. So if you're looking for something where everything in the pack is one solid color or the same, is uniform, then you want to try places like At Home or Michael's or something like that. Now, I'm actually going to have a variation in this garland. So I'm going to be using blue as my 40 millimeter balls. However, I'm going to be using the smaller ones in between just to give it a little more uniqueness and flavor, right? So we're going to be utilizing 3 packs of the blue and only 2 packs of the silver because in the silver it's 27 pieces. So all in all, we have roughly close to 100 ornaments total. And this is going to give me one long strand that's about maybe 7 feet on each. That will give you 7 feet for each swag, or about 15 feet total. So first thing you want to do is decide which balls or ornaments you're going to drill first, and you want to adjust your height of your lever here according to the size of the ball. Now, since I am using a smaller ball, I have it relatively low. You can make the adjustment according to wherever you see fit. But before you get into the balls, you want to pop all of the little casings off, which is where you would put your hooks for the tree. So you just want to pop all those off because you're not going to need those. However, you do want to keep about 1 to 2 on standby because I'm going to show you how you will need those in the end. So once you pop all of those off, you want to start by picking up your ornament, and notice I am wearing my safety glasses. However, I am not wearing the gloves because they just give me trouble on gripping the ornaments. However, I do not recommend you to do that at home. Definitely you want to practice safety first. So you want to put your ornament down in the little groove, face down just like that, so that you have a smooth finish on the outside. Next thing you're going to do is kind of just look at it, make sure it's like centered so it's not off-centered, so your garland doesn't come out crooked. Then whatever hand you are, I'm right-handed, so I would quite naturally pick up the drill with my right hand. I'm going to insert the drill into the hole of the jig, and I'm going to secure my ball, or ornament rather, with my left hand. Now you want to do this lightly, you don't want to really apply too much pressure because it can slip, and then there goes your finger. So you want to go real slow. Just like that. So now you have your hole at the end and you have your hole in the beginning, or in the front rather. Okay, so then you just want to do the same exact thing for all of your ornaments. You want to notice where your inside is, or you want to notice where the cap was. You want to put that in the groove, kind of make it as centered as possible. Then you take your drill, stick it inside the hole, hold your ornament, and drill. Just like that. Now, once you kind of get a little more familiar and comfortable actually handling the drill, handling the jig, and securing your ornament, one of the benefits of actually having a jig anyway is this lever, right? So what you would do, this is another way, a quicker way, but I only suggest this way once you feel like you're in control of the machines. You want to take your ornament, you want to place it again face down directly into that groove. You want to take your drill. Now this is the thing. Now you are going to operate your drill with your left hand because your right hand is going to operate the lever. So you got to make sure you're comfortable to handle the drill in your left hand. So you're going to put the drill in the hole. Then you're going to operate your lever, put your hand on your lever, and you're just going to, again, softly drill. Don't apply too much pressure. Let your lever come down. And there it is. Now let's see that close up. Again, take your ball, ornament, face down in the groove. Take your left hand with your drill, put the drill directly in the center of the jig. Center it where you would want it to penetrate your ornament, and drill lightly. And there's your hole.
And if you're lucky enough to have someone actually help you with this process, it can get things rolling a lot quicker, and you can actually get this done in a matter of 30 minutes.
Wait a minute. Okay, so when you're piercing the holes into your smaller ornaments, you're going to have your jig set at a relatively low height. However, when you are going to the much larger ornaments, now it's time to adjust your jig because it's in its lower setting, meaning it's entirely too low for the ornament to be properly pierced. So the main thing you're going to need for this process is just an Allen wrench. Now the size, there's so many different sizes, you're going to have to pick the appropriate size for the nuts that is on the jig. Now what you want to do is just take your Allen wrench, go counterclockwise to loosen up all of the nuts, and it should be a total of 3. Now once you have it all loose, you are going to place your bigger ornament into the same groove so you can know how high to actually adjust it and where your drill needs to be. So once you're ready to tighten up your nut, now what you're looking for is to have the drill line up and be just at the top of your ornament, so then when you pull your lever down, it can actually pierce the ornament. So to tighten it back up, you just now want to rotate your Allen wrench clockwise on all 3 of the nuts. So now once everything is tightened and put back together and your jig is at the adjusted height for the larger ornament, you are ready to proceed. Now these are the larger ornaments, and like I said, it kind of gives it a little variation in sizes. These ornaments is approximately 2.8 inches in diameter. And what you're looking for is for your bit to be about ½ inch above the ornament so that you have room to make any kind of adjustments you need. So you're going to do the same exact thing, which is come down on your lever just till you touch your ornament, and you're going to lightly drill the ornament.
So now you're just going to repeat the entire process until you have pierced all of your ornaments with holes.
This is where you're going to utilize your other tools, and you're going to start by opening up your nylon thread. Like I mentioned before, we used to use fishing wire, but no longer use that because sometimes it expands and then it changes the size of your garland, and your balls become your ornaments rather become loose. So we're going to get this started. If you are not sure how long you want your garland to be, this is where your measuring tape will come into play. Again, I said that the garland could be about 14 feet in length to give you a good size. I'm not going to utilize this measuring tape because a quicker way to do it is if you use the same amount of ornaments that I provided with you guys, that's going to automatically give you about 14 to 15 feet. So again, I know I'm using 3 packs of the larger size, and I'm only using 2 packs of the smaller size, which gives me about 98 to 100 ornaments. So what I'm going to do is just unwind my thread, and I'm actually not even going to cut it, which will give me a lot more accuracy. And I'm just going to place it actually on the floor, just like that. Now my other end, I'm going to take my little bead threader, which you will find this in the cosmetic store, and the barrette owl for little girls. So this is normally how they bead their hair or their braids or things like that. Now notice I did cut the end off. I cut this little piece off so that the entire stem can go through your ornament. So I'm going to take the open end of your thread, and I'm pretty much just going to loop it around and make a small knot, just like that. Can you see it? Now you don't want your knot too large, otherwise it will not be able to fit through the ornament hole. So I'm going to make a small knot, just like this. Now I'm going to take the one end, and I'm going to start with my smaller ornament, and I'm just going to thread it through. I'm going to take it through the one hole, and then let it go straight on through the other side. Now I'm going to continuously do this and allow all of my ornaments to just fall in place on the floor. So you want to make sure you keep your thread untangled. So you want to keep your thread straight as you can and untangled. And again, I started with the smaller ornament, so now I'm going to go to the larger size ornament, and this little where you took the cap off, you want to make sure all these are going in the same direction. What it's going to do is provide a little space between both of your ornaments. So it's important that they're going in the same exact direction, meaning you should always be threading through that little end cap. And then you should always be coming out of the other end. Sometimes you may have to play with it to find the actual hole. Sometimes you may have to play with it to find the hole, but it's there. So just kind of wiggle it around, let your ball or ornament rather fall on the floor, and then proceed with the next color. Now, one thing, if you're using different colors such as I am with the silver and the gray, I want my silver and gray to alternate. So you have to remember, especially if your ornaments aren't in plain sight, so you want to remember what color you used previously, or otherwise you just want to keep them in plain sight. So I used silver the first time. This time I'm going to use the gray. Then just continue with all of your ornaments until pretty much they're all gone. Okay, so when you're finished getting all of your ornaments in the uniform way onto your string, you may have some left over because in the process of creating your holes, you could possibly crack some ornaments or anything could possibly happen. So if that's the case, which is why I leave the other end, which is both my ends, I want them open so I can divide my ornaments up, meaning I have 8 small ones left over. So I'm put 4 on this end and 4 on the other end so that they are uniform. I'm also going to thread it in the same exact direction that it was going, so everything could be going in the same direction. If you have alternating colors, still create alternating colors. And the good thing about this, I like having extra smaller balls at the end, is because it makes it easier to secure it to your backdrop. Now, when it comes to securing your last actual ornament, you want to take the end of your scissors and create a bigger hole. Not too big, but you want it big enough or bigger than a hole on the opposite end, because once you create a knot, you don't want it to come out on the opposite end. So just kind of get a hole in there, pretty big, about that size, and thread your nylon, and you're threading it the opposite way. So you want to actually enter through the bigger hole, and what you're going to do is create a knot. And you want it to be kind of like a big knot. And the goal is to actually leave some excess on the end. Just kind of get it into a big old knot so it catches. There's no specific knots you need to do. You just need to make one big enough that it doesn't come out on the other end. Okay, so I just pretty much created a knot a couple times just so it was large enough to not come through the other end. And it has to be small enough to enter the bigger hole you made. So once you do that, now you're going to cut off any excess that you see, any kind of nylon excess that you see. And when you now are going to the other opposite end, you want to make sure that your ornaments are tight. So you pretty much just taking this ball and you're going to secure it to where you can't bring the knot through. Then you want to make sure all your balls, or ornaments rather, are all pushed in a way. So now you have this access loophole, and which is going to be your hook when you are securing it to the backdrop. But you want to make sure that these two ornaments on the end are closed, and meaning very, very close together so you don't see your nylon. So the goal in which you're trying to achieve is the end of your garland to look just like this. You do want the loop sticking out, because you're easily going to be able to attach it to your backdrops using C hooks or S hooks. Now that you're at the very final end, now you can go on and cut your nylon with your scissors so you can secure this in. Okay, there we go. So you're going to do the same exact thing you did on the opposite end. You're going to take your nylon and you're going to attach the remaining ornaments, and be sure to put them in the same exact direction that they were going in previous. Okay, now once you get to the edge here, the goal is to pull on your nylon to make sure it's nice and tight. Then you're going to wrap it around, and what you're doing is creating another knot. This time it's going to be on the outside to hold your garland secure. And you just want to make the knot big enough to where it doesn't go in the hole. I'm going to make mine a little larger just to prevent it from slipping. And again, make sure you leave extra for a loop so you're able to attach it to the backdrop. Then cut off any excess that you may have. And just for an added bonus, so you don't have like loose thread showing, you can always take the little piece that you removed and attach it back on. So you just want to take your thread, stick it through the little hole. Now you're going to have to play with it to kind of get it through there, because it's the hole is rather small. All right, let's try scissors. And then just reattach it. Same way you removed it. Just like that. Did that make sense? And there you have your entire garland. All right, guys, so what you think? Now, keep in mind, this tutorial is maybe about 5 years old, guys. That's how long I've been doing this. And as you see, I am in the lab right now, meaning we're creating new tutorials, new live trainings. Can you imagine being on an actual live training with me virtually, where you can ask me any pressing question you have about what it is that I'm teaching you? Guys, I'm trying to tell you, the ladies love it, which is why you are missing out. So if you're ready to take your draping skills to the next level with new styles, trending designs, and expert techniques, and guys, guess what? You need to be inside the Posh Draping University, period. Guys, inside, I'm going live every single week, not with just techniques, but also business coaching. I'm giving you step-by-step training to help you level up your draping skills and really stand out in the industry. And because I don't want the algorithm really deciding when you see my content, how you see my content, if you see my content, this is the best way for you guys to always have direct access to my trainings, my replays, and the entire community of new and aspiring designers just like you. But that's not all, y'all. And because I want you to really start off strong, guys, I created a free course specifically for you, and it outlines everything that you need to know as a newbie or aspiring designer, right? It's called Premium Draping Essentials, and it's totally free once you join by clicking the link down in the description. Again, this is called Posh Draping University because it's teaching you all things pipe and drape so that you can level up. This course covers everything from the must-know basics, the fabric selection to backdrop setup, everything you need to know so you can start creating premium designs right away. So guys, if you're serious and not just curious about really stepping your game up, get access to the weekly live trainings and everything else phenomenal that we got going on over there, okay? Also, connect with other designers while you're inside, and you can get started by simply clicking the link below today. I can't wait to see you guys on the inside. Bye.